Can you actually cook proper filling meals using only the Just Essentials range from Asda and still have them taste good? Today, I'm putting that to the test. I've created 7 full meals on a very tight budget using only ingredients found in the Just Essentials range at Asda, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 3 of them. We're talking sausage and mash with veg, a full chicken roast dinner with all the trimmings, roast potatoes, stuffing and Yorkshire puddings, and even a mild prawn curry with rice. All on a budget, no fancy swaps here. We're going to be breaking down the exact cost per meal, showing you how I make it, and then we'll be doing a full taste test of each meal as well. So if you're trying to cut back on your grocery budget, feed your family for less, or even if you just want to see how far these supermarket basics can really go, then just keep on watching, guys. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Also consider subscribing down below if you haven't already. It'll mean a lot to me. And without further ado, let's dive into it, starting with meal number 1. First up, we're going to be doing a classic sausage and mash with some veg on the side, covered in gravy. Our pork sausages were £1.69. Our white potatoes were £1.32, and I'm going to be using half of this bag, making that only 66 pence that we're using. Our frozen mixed veg were 99p. We're going to be using a quarter of the bag, making that 25 pence. And then our gravy granules were only 45p, and we're going to be using probably just under a quarter at 11 pence. So altogether this dinner comes to £2.71. Let's dive into the cooking. Now I'm going to cook our sausages in the oven as per the packet instructions, and I'm going to be boiling our potatoes for the same amount of time for our mashed potato, and the veg I'm going to be putting on for about 5 to 8 minutes before our sausages are done. To make our mash, I'm just going to mash our potatoes together with a little bit of butter, a little bit of milk and some salt and pepper. That's our mashed potato all made. Now I'm going to serve this up with our veg, our sausages, and of course our gravy. Now this gravy has definitely taken a bit of work, and it's a bit lumpier than I would usually be able to make it. The Asda's own gravy doesn't lump up like this. But yeah, we've got some gravy lumps, but it smells like a really good gravy, but the proof's in the taste. I've got dinner served up. Let's lavish the gravy all over it and give it a quick taste test. So just so you can see portion sizes, guys, this is mine. We've got Tyler's and Liam's here, and then we've also got Ava, who's my little toddler's, here as well. So we've got decent portions here, and the gravy as well, all for under £3. I'm going to serve the kids up now and then give mine a quick taste test. First up, we're going to try some mash and gravy. The gravy's actually really nice, and the mashed potato doesn't taste any different to my normal mashed potato, to be fair, so this is definitely a potato swap I can see happening for the long term. Let's try it with the veg, and the veg isn't bad. Like, it's just a nice little mixed veg variety. Very heavy on the carrot though. The occasional little broccoli head I'm seeing, and not a lot of cauliflower, mostly carrots and peas. But we do have a little bit of cauliflower in here. Now for the sausages. And that is not a bad sausage. Really nice flavour, actually. The only thing I would say is that there's only 10p difference between this and the Asda's own one, and almost 20% pork content difference in those two. For the extra 10p, you get 20% more pork in the sausages. That's the only thing I'd like to highlight. But a really good tasting pork sausage, and the fact that I fed me and the 3 kids for less than £3, a really substantial, healthy dinner. I'm really happy with this one. Now it's time for our Just Essentials Sunday roast dinner. We're going to be doing a roast chicken dinner with all the trimmings. So let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. First up is our whole chicken, and this was £3.88. We're then going to be using half of our packet of white potatoes. This was a 2 kilo bag for £1.32. We're using 1 kilo of it, meaning this comes to 66p. We've then got our Yorkshire puddings. This is a pack of 15 and it was 46p. We're going to be using 8, making that 25 pence. Going to be using a sage and onion stuffing mix. This was 30p. We're going to be using 2 slices of our Just Essentials white bread to make our stuffing. Out of our 55p loaf, that comes to 5 pence. Then going to be using some mixed vegetables as well. This is 99p for the bag. We're using a quarter of it, making that 25p. And then we've also got some gravy granules to make our gravy. This was 45p. We're using a fifth of the pot, and that comes to 9p. So altogether, our dinner comes to £5.48. Without further ado, let's dive in and start making our roast dinner. The first step is to preheat my oven to gas mark 6. Then I've just done some veg prep, so I've peeled and chopped my potatoes and put them into some cold water with some salt. I'm going to put these on to boil now. And our frozen mixed veg I've just added into some cold water, and that's just going to set aside until the end when we're ready to boil those. So our potatoes are put on now. Most of these are going to be our roast potatoes today, but my daughter doesn't like roast potatoes, so I'm also going to be leaving some in the boiling water when we take out the roast potatoes so that they can fully boil, but we want to be parboiling our potatoes probably for about 20 minutes. Now while our potatoes are boiling and our oven is preheating, we're going to prep our stuffing. So the first step in doing that is to tear up 2 slices of bread into our mixing bowl. Then to our torn up bread, we're going to add our sage and onion stuffing mix. This is an 85-gram pack, and we're going to add the whole pack into here now. Now this is an optional step, but I've just added a little knob of butter. Now we're going to pour in some boiling water into here and give it a good mix until we get the desired consistency. Now this is the desired consistency that I want. It's perfect if you want to mold it into stuffing balls. I'm going to be popping ours just into a loaf tin just because that's my preferred way of cooking it. If you haven't tried this bread method for your stuffing before, definitely try it. It gives a really nice flavour and consistency to the stuffing, as well as bulking it out and making it go further, and everyone gets a bit more stuffing. Now I've just put our stuffing into the loaf tin. I've packed it into just this half of the loaf tin so that we get a thicker slice, and then I've just roughed up the edges with a fork so we get a nice crispy top. That's going to be going into the oven shortly, but first we're going to prep our chicken. Now nice and easy prep for our chicken. I've just slapped it into the middle of our baking tray. I went for quite a big baking tray because we're going to be putting our roast potatoes around it to cook later on. But the first thing we're going to do is just spritz our chicken with a spray of some vegetable oil. Gonna make our skin nice and crispy, and then we're just gonna season it with some salt and pepper. Now that's our chicken prep done. Really nice and simple. The total cooking time for our chicken is 1.5 hours, and we're gonna be tying in all the other parts of the dinner to finish at the exact same time. So this is going in the top shelf of our oven now on gas mark 6, and our stuffing's gonna go on the shelf underneath. Once the chicken went in, I set a timer on my phone for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and that's what I judge the rest of my cooking by, is this timer. I live and breathe by timers and lists when cooking. When we've got 1 hour and 15 minutes left on the timer, I'm gonna take out our potatoes that are parboiled for our roast potatoes and let the rest of the potatoes boil for Ava's mash. When there's 1 hour and 10 minutes left on the clock, we've just taken the chicken tray out of the oven because we're going to add some vegetable oil around the edges now. This is going to go back into the oven for 10 minutes for this oil to heat up around before we can add our potatoes. Once the oil's heated up, we're going to add our potatoes to the tray now. And with 1 hour left on the clock, this is going to go back into the oven now. And I'm just going to make the mashed potato flavor out of our remaining potatoes. And then every 15 minutes, we're just going to be turning over the potatoes, just to make sure they're crisping up on all sides, and then it's going to go back in the oven. Time to turn the potatoes again. They're starting to crisp up beautifully, then back into the oven. Now I'm just going to do the final turn of the potatoes now. I'm actually going to drain off a lot of the oil so that they can crisp up in the last 15 minutes. Then I'm going to pop this back into the oven with the potatoes at the back of the tray so they can get the most heat. And then 8 minutes before we're done, we're going to put our veg on to boil and put our frozen Yorkshire puddings on the same shelf as the stuffing. And I've just learnt the knack with this gravy. There is still a couple of lumps, but not as many as with the sausage and mash. If you actually put the gravy granules and add a small bit of water at the bottom and turn it into a paste and then gradually add your boiling water, it actually works a lot better and you get a lot less lumps. We've got just over 1 minute on the clock and everything's ready to serve up. And this is what our dinners are looking like before the gravy. We've got our chicken, we've got the veg, we've got our stuffing, our roast potatoes and our Yorkshire puddings. The boys love the wings and the legs, so nothing is going to waste on this chicken. We've completely cleared the carcass. And Ava's got her little dinner here too with her mashed potatoes, stuffing, chicken, veg and a Yorkshire. Now all that's left to do is to smother this in gravy. Now I'm going to serve the boys theirs and then have a taste test of mine. Starting with a bite of the chicken with the veg. That chicken is so juicy and the crispy skin, and all I needed was a little bit of salt and pepper and oil on that. Our stuffing is really soft and fluffy, but it's got like a crispy outside. Absolutely delicious. Potatoes look amazing as well, and honestly I can't tell the difference between these potatoes and the regular potatoes I get, so this is definitely a change that I'm going to take into my future shopping because these potatoes are absolutely delicious. Now I do like making my own Yorkshire puddings, but I thought I would give these ones a go. Do you know what, they're not as good as homemade, but I think these are actually better than the Aunt Bessie's ones. Just putting out there, if I was to get ready-made Yorkshire puddings again, I'd probably get these ones. I still can't believe how cheap this dinner was to feed all of us. It's absolutely amazing, and yeah, what an absolutely perfect Sunday dinner. Next up, we're going to be making a basic prawn curry with some rice. Let's run through the ingredients and the overall cost of this meal. So we're going to be using the ready-to-eat cooked and peeled prawns. These were £2.49. We've then got some long grain rice. This was 52p for a kilo. We're going to be using 300 grams, which is 16 pence. We've then got a mild curry sauce, this was 49p. And then we've got our mixed peppers, which were £1.79. I'm going to be using half of the yellow one and half of the red one, making that 60p. So altogether, our prawn curry dinner is coming to £3.74. Let's dive into the cooking. First step is to put our rice in the rice cooker to cook. That's gonna cook it perfectly and then keep it warm until we're ready to serve. Then the prawn curry is super basic. All we need to do for prep is just to cut up our peppers. Now to make the curry, I've just put a little splash of vegetable oil into this saucepan. I'm gonna heat that up now and then we're gonna fry our peppers for about 5 minutes. And then once our peppers have been fried for 5 minutes and are softened, we're gonna add our mild curry sauce and our prawns into our saucepan. And then we're just gonna gently simmer our curry until the sauce and the prawns are all heated through. Then once the curry's all heated through, it's time for us to serve up with our rice. And that is our dinner all served up. Actually a really decent portion with plenty of prawns for everyone as well. So this is mine, the boys are here, and then we've got Ava's little one here as well. That's our dinner all served up, guys. I'm going to serve the kids now and then I'm going to do a little taste test for you. Now we love curry in this house and this is definitely looking like a more sort of Chinese style curry. So let's try the rice and the sauce first. The sauce has a nice flavour actually. There's actually a little bit of a kick to the sauce, which I wasn't expecting since it said mild. And there's actually a really nice flavourful kick to the sauce. The rice is really soft, as you can see. Sometimes with cheaper rice, it can go like rock hard. But this is super, super soft, and I did cook it with a little bit more water actually, just to guarantee the softness. So just as a little tip, add a little bit more water when you're cooking the rice, just to give it that extra bit of softness. But the flavour's really nice. The peppers are delicious as well, because they're the peppers that I get every single week anyway. I already know the peppers are absolutely fine. And the prawns are a really decent size for the price, so let's give the prawns a try. Prawns are really nice, really tender, not hard, not chewy, nothing like that. Really nice and tender. And they have a really nice fresh prawn taste. So yeah, all in all, this is actually a really delicious meal. And the sauce has actually surprised me. It's got a lot of flavour. I didn't have to add any salt or pepper to the actual sauce. It actually has a really nice flavour and a little bit of a kick to it, which I actually quite like. It is mild, but you do have a little bit of heat there, which makes it just a little bit more exciting. So actually, as budget-friendly meals go, for under £4 to feed all of us, incredible. That's it for part one, guys. Honestly, I'm so impressed with how these turned out. We managed to make sausage and mash, a full roast dinner, and even a prawn curry using only the Just Essentials range from Asda, keeping it super budget friendly. But next week we are stepping it up and I'm going to be bringing you another 4 meals that I've created using only the Just Essentials range. We've got burgers, homemade pizzas, sweet and sour chicken, and even a pasta bolognese, guys. So make sure you're subscribed and have your notifications on, guys, because part 2 is where the fake away favourites come in. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the love and support on my channel at the moment. It means the absolute world to me. And hopefully I'll see you really, really soon for another video. Take care. Bye.